Hey guys, before I start this video, if you have not checked out the Natural Gallant Bodybuilding podcast on Patreon, the link is in the description. I am on episode 8 now. Lots of great stuff, lots of long conversations about training, YouTube, life, all that kind of stuff. And if you're interested in what I'm saying in these videos, you're definitely going to like the podcast. So I will see you on Patreon. Mountain. Hello? Any monsters out there? You are legally obligated to reveal yourself. I'm serious.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding. Mountain. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a diet mistake. And I've talked about this before, but I'm going to bring it up again because I do think it's really important. Oh, there's an eagle. Or it was a pterodactyl. I don't know. I don't know the difference. It's pretty big. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about nutrition. And from a natural bodybuilding point of view, what's more important? And like I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, a lot of people put a lot of stress on just losing body fat. They try to become the losing body fat specialist, not realizing that natural bodybuilding is about putting on muscle, first and foremost. And then from there, the increase in metabolism will assist you with skimming off body fat. Now, when you're getting ready for a competition, so you're going on a cut, what you're trying to do is not necessarily crash diet your body. You're not trying to just lower the calories down to nothing. And of course, I've talked about calories in, calories out before. Not all calories are calories. If you eat just straight table sugar, you're going to get a different result than eating, say, tuna, right? Calorie for calorie, you're going to get a different result in the body if you eat just straight tuna as opposed to just table sugar. So we know a calorie is definitely not just a calorie. The body responds to the different types of macros. So that aside, if you're trying to cannibalize your body, one of the first things the body's going to do is get rid of muscle mass. It's not always going to get rid of fat. A lot of times it will hold on to fat first and foremost. So you have to coax the body into losing body fat at the same time trying to keep your metabolism as high as possible. So what a lot of people do is they go for the quick and easy approach at first. They diet, they lower down their food to almost nothing, and they start losing some body fat, right? But mostly what they're losing is muscle and water weight. So as a natural bodybuilder, this is a disaster. If you're really, really overweight, this might be the only option. I'm not saying for super overweight people to not consider really restrictive diets, but if you're in the situation where you're trying to preserve as much muscle mass as possible, the last thing you want to do is lower your calories down to nothing, at least in comparison to what you usually eat for your maintenance, right? Some people don't need a lot of calories to maintain what their muscle mass is, depending on their metabolism and so forth. So I talked to one person about this, and I said this, and I think it would make a lot of sense to most of you, and that's the residual income scenario, right? So say you owned a lot of real estate, and you rented out that real estate every month, and you had a little bit of money coming in, but you said, hey, I want to get rich right now, and instead of trying to buy or accumulate more real estate, you just sold off all your assets. Well, at first it would look like you have a lot more money, but now you've killed your residual income in the process. So this will just end up running out. So based on this, look at your muscles as a residual metabolism. Basically, when you have more muscle mass and you preserve more muscle mass, you have a faster metabolism. Therefore, you were able to skim fat off. Now, if you are conservative with your nutrition, as far as you're not crash dieting, what will happen is you'll slowly skim fat off over the long term as you're training by just refining your diet choices, but you're not necessarily going to just get lean overnight. You're going to slowly but surely replace fat with muscle, slowly but surely over the long haul, right? And I think this is something that I did right for most of my bodybuilding career because I did not restrict food so much. I just refined my choices, which enabled me to hold on to a lot more muscle mass than a lot of the guys that were getting ready for stage. Now, one could argue, yeah, maybe they were a bit leaner. Sometimes there were guys that were leaner than I was, but not one of them had more muscle mass, that's for sure. And if I would have continued my diet for longer, there's a very good possibility that I would have ended up beating some of these guys. Now, I did beat a lot of people, but I'm just saying in the cases where, say, my theory wasn't perfected, right? Because I did find that if you take in too much fats, or you take in too much of the wrong carb, or say your body's sensitive to a certain carb and you're retaining water, like these are all other factors as well besides body fat that also play a role in what you look like on stage. So without getting into that too much, let's just talk about fat loss and the preservation of muscle. And the biggest mistake you can make when you're trying to be a natural bodybuilder and you're trying to, look more bodybuilder-esque is to diet your muscle away just so you have an ab vein. And then you're running around with less muscle mass and you're not able to put on muscle over the long run. So you're always chasing that metabolism, which is slowing down ever more as you catabolize your muscle mass. So yeah, in the end, you have to remember this is a bodybuilding sport. It's body nourishing. You're trying to build that constitution, build that health, build that vitality, and build that muscle. You're not trying to get lean at any cost, right? Unless, of course, that's your goal. You don't give a shit about holding on to muscle or vitality or ability to heal from exercise trauma or from exercise at all or stress, if you're not looking to heal and then you just want to kind of have basically a borderline eating disorder just to basically try to get you lean, well, then that's a different goal altogether, but it's not natural bodybuilding. So yeah, in the long run, you'll be better off if you concentrate more on nourishing the muscles, nourishing the body, and then just refining your choices. Like maybe you do replace some of your fat choices with a good lower glycemic starchy carb, right? Maybe you're better off having a better choice of carb, right? So say you have bread for your carb, well, maybe you're better off having brown rice or yams or something like that. But this is a better approach than you just cutting out food altogether and saying, okay, I'll eat one meal a day and somehow I'm going to get shredded, right? You're going to lose muscle at a much faster rate than you're going to lose fat. And in the end, yeah, you might be a little bit leaner, but you're going to be a lot smaller and you're definitely going to lose a lot of that bodybuilder look. Mountain. You didn't hear anything behind me, did you? I hope the Sasquatches don't watch this video because I think it's good for them to go on a diet. Yeah, well, for obvious reasons, right? We don't want... There's a reason why I don't have a cameraman, okay? I'm just gonna put it out there. There's a reason why. And without getting too violent or graphic about this, the Sasquatch has something to do with it, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully he's not watching this video. Or he didn't hear what I was saying. Mountain. Natural Gallant.